Lesson 15. Do not act following customary beliefs. The world is full of customs, ways of living, rules of success, measures of worth. Most people follow them blindly, chasing riches, reputation, or influence simply because others do the same. But Musashi warns, do not act following customary beliefs. For him, truth was not found in convention but in direct experience. He did not become Japan's greatest swordsman by mimicking tradition. He broke from it, creating his own style, the Niten Ichi Ryu. His path was not guided by the approval of society, but by the clarity of his own discipline. To follow customs unthinkingly is to live a borrowed life, to question them, test them, and choose only what strengthens the spirit. That is freedom. Musashi's blade was unique because his mind was free from the chains of conformity. In our lives, this lesson challenges us to ask, why do we pursue what we pursue? Do we seek success because it is ours to claim or because society told us it mattered? Do we consume because we need or because everyone else consumes? Musashi's teaching is ruthless. Discard the path handed to you and walk the one carved by your own clarity. To break free from the customs of society is to step into true independence. But once you walk that untrodden path, temptation still waits, glittering rewards, treasures, luxuries, all whispering for your attention. Musashi knew that even a free spirit could be lured back into chains. And so, his next principle strikes at the heart of worldly temptation. Lesson 16. Do not collect weapons or practice with weapons beyond what is useful. A swordsman's pride could easily turn into obsession. Many warriors hoarded weapons, dazzled by ornate blades, convinced that power lay in the tools themselves. But Musashi declares, do not collect weapons or practice with weapons beyond what is useful. For him, mastery was never in the weapon. It was in the hand that wielded it, the mind that guided it. Musashi carried only what he needed, 2 swords, nothing more. He refused to be distracted by ornament, fashion, or vanity. To him, extra weapons were dead weight, symbols of attachment, not of strength. The lesson extends beyond swords. In our age, we collect tools, gadgets, even knowledge for the sake of display rather than necessity. We mistake abundance for mastery, but Musashi reminds us true power lies not in owning many tools, but in mastering a few. To focus on what is useful and discard the rest is to walk lighter, strike truer, and live freer. It is a call to sharpen ourselves, not our possessions. Musashi has stripped away distraction, status, possessions, even the glitter of weapons. But there is another snare, more dangerous than steel or gold. Comfort itself. For a warrior, comfort dulls the edge. For Musashi, the pursuit of ease was the enemy of mastery. His next lesson delivers this truth with brutal honesty. Lesson 17. Do not fear death. The fear of death is the deepest comfort we cling to. It drives us to seek safety, to build soft lives, to avoid risk at any cost. But Musashi commands, do not fear death. For him, battle was not an abstract concept. It was his daily reality. Every duel, every step on the battlefield carried the risk of an ending. Yet instead of fearing death, he accepted it as inevitable, as natural as the setting sun. By doing so, he fought with clarity and courage, unshackled by hesitation. To fear death is to live half alive. Every choice is colored by caution, every opportunity weighed against risk. But when fear dissolves, life sharpens. We stop wasting time, we stop clinging to illusions of safety, and we begin to act with full presence. Musashi's wisdom challenges us to face the truth. Death will come for all. To fear it is futile, to accept it is liberating. Only by embracing mortality can we focus completely on the life we are living now. To live unafraid of death is to unlock true freedom. But once freed from fear, another danger lurks: excess. The temptation to indulge in too much, to take more than is needed, to waste what could be used. Musashi's next principle cuts directly against the softness of overindulgence. Lesson 18. Do not pursue possessions or feasts beyond what is necessary. The Ronin's life was simple. Musashi ate what sustained him, carried only what he needed, and lived without excess. His teaching is clear. Do not pursue possessions or feasts beyond what is necessary. For Musashi, abundance was not strength, it was distraction. Warriors who indulged in banquets, luxuries, or endless possessions dulled their spirit and weakened their focus. To him, simplicity was sharper than excess, and restraint was the true wealth. In our world, the banquet has become endless. Consumer goods, digital entertainment, constant upgrades, luxuries packaged as necessities. We are drowning in abundance, yet starved of meaning. Musashi reminds us that mastery does not grow in indulgence, it grows in discipline. To consume only what is needed is not poverty, but power. It frees the mind, sharpens the will, and keeps us ready for whatever the path demands. Restraint from excess sharpens the body, but Musashi knew the battle for mastery is fought above all in the mind. A clouded spirit cannot see the way clearly. His next lesson cuts through the fog of distraction, calling us to purify our inner vision. Lesson 19. Do not become attached to familiar paths or teachings. Musashi's life was proof of this principle. Though trained in traditional schools of swordsmanship, he broke free, forging his own style, the two heavens as one. His principle reminds us, do not become attached to familiar paths or teachings. For Musashi, attachment to tradition meant blindness. A warrior who clung to the way it has always been done would be predictable, rigid, and easily defeated. Musashi thrived because he remained adaptable, always questioning, always refining, always creating. In our lives, the lesson is just as sharp. We cling to routines, dogmas, and old ideas because they feel safe. But safety breeds stagnation. To grow, we must let go of paths that no longer serve us and step boldly into the unknown. Musashi's wisdom is a challenge. Trust discipline, not comfort. Be guided by clarity, not tradition. When we release attachment to the familiar, we free ourselves to discover truths greater than we imagined. Musashi has shown us how to cut free from desire, fear, tradition, and excess. Each teaching has stripped away another layer of illusion, leaving only the raw steel of focus. And now, as the journey nears its end, he turns his gaze toward the greatest trial of all, the heart itself. Lesson 20. Do not be led by emotions of the heart. Love, hate, anger, envy. These emotions surge like wildfire, consuming reason in their flames. But Musashi's command is clear. Do not be led by emotions of the heart. To him, emotions were not enemies, but dangerous masters. A warrior who fights in rage loses precision. One who is blinded by love or hate becomes vulnerable. Musashi sought to master emotion, not by killing it, but by refusing to be ruled by it. In our world, emotions often drive our biggest choices. Career leaps made in envy, relationships pursued from loneliness, anger unleashed in moments we later regret. Each time the heart overpowers reason and we stumble. Musashi's wisdom is this: feel deeply but act wisely. Emotions may visit, but they must not command. True mastery is calm at the center of the storm, making decisions not from the heat of passion, but from the clarity of focus. Musashi has walked us through fire, the letting go of desire, the acceptance of death, the stripping away of every distraction and illusion. And now, at the very end of his life, with brush in hand and death approaching, he wrote his final command. It is not about possessions, not about fear, not about others. It is about the deepest challenge of all, the self. Lesson 21. Be detached, even from your own self. Musashi's last principle is the most radical. Be detached, even from your own self. All along, he has taught us to let go of jealousy, of possessions, of tradition, of fear. But here he takes the blade to the final attachment. The idea of me. Our ego, our identity, our constant clinging to I, me, mine. Musashi reminds us that even this must be released if we are to achieve true freedom. For the warrior, this meant fighting without hesitation, without fear of losing face, without clinging to victory or survival. For us, it means something just as profound. To stop defining ourselves by our past mistakes, our titles, our pride, even our pain. We are more than the self we cling to. When we detach from self, we dissolve the final illusion. What remains is pure focus, pure presence, pure being. This is enlightenment, not to escape life, but to live it without chains. These 21 principles are not gentle suggestions. They are hard, uncompromising truths, truths forged by a man who lived by the sword, wandered as a ronin, and mastered not just battle but life itself. Musashi shows us that focus is not about what we add to our lives, but what we cut away. Fear, desire, resentment, jealousy, possessions, pride, even the self. What remains when all else is stripped is clarity. And in that clarity lies strength. In that focus lies freedom. In that detachment lies the unshakable path of mastery. Musashi's Dokkōdō is not just a guide for samurai. It is a guide for anyone seeking to live with purpose in a world of distraction. If we walk even a step in his path, we sharpen our own lives. The warrior is not only the one who holds the sword. The warrior is the one who holds the mind steady, the spirit unbroken, and the focus unshakable. And so Musashi's final gift is not the victories of his past, but the clarity of his way. The question now is, will you walk it?